it's Sarah. I'm back to share another junk journal with you guys. I just wanted to share the paper with you, what I used. And this is the sticker page that you can get along with the collection. It doesn't come, well, I'm not sure. One might come with the collection, and then I did order another one for the collection. So those are the papers. I used a merchandise bag, and I just folded it in half, and that's what I used to make the covers. I've showed you those before. I also used these fibers to tie it shut. A little bit of this green seam binding and this ribbon that has the gold through it, and it's pink and cream. And then on the ends of it, I have these little butterflies. There's a lot of butterflies, not a lot, but there's butterflies in the collection, so that's why I went with that. And I sewn in 2 signatures in this one. Oopsie. Well, that was a bow. Okay, I tied that into a bow where I put the signatures in. And I used 2 signatures in this one. Plus I used the 3 paper bags. I used the Celebrated brand. These are the ones that I use. They're 4.5 inches by 8 and 9 inches. And I just trimmed the top of the bags just a little bit. So, in making this, I used this craft text right here that I ended up putting brads as a detail on one end here. And then I used this crochet trim. And then I went in and I used this lace trim as well. I hung these little charms here. One it has an owl, and then it has a heart and some beads and a leaf and a dragonfly and a butterfly. So I got those. And then this is craft text. I just stained it up with vintage photo, and I used a little bit of tea dye on it, and I used an on-edge dye for the top here. That's a Tim Holtz. And then I used the brads back here as decoration, as well as they hold it to the bag as well. So let's open this up. Now, I used this applique that I had as well. I thought it matched my on-edge dye, how it looks, so I thought that looked cute. Now, when you open it up, also, inside I have it tied again. This is just added security. It is quite chunky, and if you were to remove some of the stuff out of it, if you don't like that many tags, or if you were to put more in it, then you have that leeway of making it tighter or making it looser. So when you open it up, you come to the front page, and I put this trim the whole way along the bottom, And then I use that lace trim there, like I said, and the whole cover is wrapped in lace as well. So then I brought it over and I just tucked it along the edge, along the edge of the inside. Now, this is part of the paper collection. I fussy cut it out and I made a little pocket out of it. It says Treasures Life's Little Moments, and then it has a saying here. I used another piece of the paper and I cut it to size, and then I folded it down to make different tuck spots and different pockets. I tucked this little envelope behind here. It says Together with Definition. This is a sticker from the paper collection, and I add a little butterfly there, and I just inked up everything with Vintage Photo. So that's what's everything's inked up with, and that just tucks in under there. And then I got multiple tags here that get tucked in here all over the place. One says moment and the definition with butterfly. The other one's treasure. The other one is story. And the other one is home. So what this paper collection had is, I did use some of the 6x6 paper pad, the 6x6 paper pad too. Spit it out, Sarah. That's where these little tiny ones come in. But the paper collection had two of those two papers that were full of nothing but definitions. So that's what I put on all my tags or little odds and ends throughout here. I didn't stamp in this one. No, I do like to stamp, but I thought with having those, I just utilized those. So then I put treasure with the definition there, and this is butterfly, little butterfly right there, and then I punched out butterflies with my Martha Stewart punch, and instead of throwing that away, I kept it and I put it on this jelly bean bag cutout die that I just recently got. And then I put this little tag in from the paper collection, and that one says cherish with its definition with another butterfly. And then at the very top, I placed all this on top of a piece of Valium, and then this is a piece of the sticker collection. I also used the sticker sheet. And then this is just a paper from the paper collection. Then this is the start of the paper bag. I used an envelope as a flap, and I fussy cut this out of the paper, and then I used some of the stickers, leaves that were also in the collection. That's a sticker. And this is a sticker as well. It says Precious Moments. I backed these all with cardstock so I could make a little pocket out of it. And I punched out some of these butterflies. And then I put one of those definitions. This one says memory. And I glued it onto this little cardstock tag that I had gotten when I bought some jewelry from Hobby Lobby. And I placed it on top of this piece of paper there. And then you open it up, and this is the card, so you can pull it out. And this is a tablet that I had, and I just ripped some of the pages off of it, made it into my own little tablet. And I put another sticker here. It says My Most Treasured Moments. And on the other side, this is a heart dolly that I seen on Junk Journal Junkies. And I just I liked how she used those, so I decided to use that as well. So I did that and made a little tuck spot, and I glued it on top of this other little piece of cardstock that I had that is actually from this, which I didn't cover up. That's the soap packaging that comes on my soap that I use, and I just love the detail of it, so I always save a bunch of different odd and end things. So when I seen that, I was like, oh, and that color actually matches the collection that I'm using. So, yep, that's what I gotta use. So then I put another definition down here. It says keepsake. And then I added that in there. I used these from the paper collection to make a little belly band. And then on the back, that's the other part of the heart dolly. And then I made another pocket out of the paper collection, added one of these Julie Bean repair tags, and then I added this little library card and full pocket and just tuck that in there. And then this is a piece of the paper from the collection, and you can place a photo on top of there if you'd like. I'll just put that in there later. So then you flip it over here, and I just add this to the outside of the envelope, and I made a little tuck spot, and that's just paper. That's paper from the paper collection, and I just tucked that in there. Maybe. And then this is part of the paper, this is the start of the paper bag. And on the paper bag part where you fold up the bottom, I always make a pocket there, and I used a piece of paper collection and made another pocket. So I just slide in one of these. This I just thought fit with the theme of the paper, and it's another jewelry packaging that I had. Then I just used some of these cutouts from the paper collection that has the definitions on it, and I tucked those in there as well. This is part of that paper collection as well. I just fussy cut around the butterfly and the leaf. And then I added that. That's the sticker as well. Then on this side, I made a flap on the bag. Added this tag. And this tag was another one that I got when I bought charms. And it's plastic. And it's black. And had a butterfly on it. So it fit very well. And this definition is life, and then I just added a punched out butterfly on there. I just made a tuck spot out of the paper, and then I added this sticker here. It says cherish and be thankful. And then you open this up. That's part of the paper there. And then this is part of the paper. I love that paper. And then I just made a little tuck spot because I didn't really want to mess with that paper. I really liked it, so just made a little tuck spot right there. And then that's held on with magnets. Then on this side, the first page, it's coffee dyed paper. I added this index card to journal on. You can journal on the actual page. Added a little butterfly. On the back of this, I added some of the tea dye paper, so you can journal on the back of there. And I added another butterfly there. Added some of these fibers. And then I made a corner pocket over here. Used the paper collection as well. And this is a flip up. And I added for you to cover up my magnet. And then right here is a couple sheets of coffee dyed paper that I folded over, and you can journal in here, and the magnet keeps it held down. So then over here I use some of this funky fluffy, feathery pink trim here, and this is coffee dyed paper, a dolly. I used this sticker from the sticker collection. I added this tag here, put a little butterfly, and added some seam binding. These are topped with paper, and then the back of them is just cardstock. I inked it all up with vintage photo. That's what everything's inked up with. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not. And these are the pull-offs that you get when you buy the tissue paper, or the little tissue boxes that I get, and that I just keep them. I always like to use them as little tags. And then here's some trim here, and this is envelope, one of those policy envelopes, and I just added a little pocket here. I added another sticker that has memory and the definition. I put friendship there, the sticker, and I made a little notebook out of the bottom of the tag that I used as I used it in here, I think. That's what I used. This was the bottom of that soap. Oopsie. This is the bottom of that soap container that I used. And then this is what this is as well. And I just put that piece from the paper collection on there. And that just gets tucked in there. I used another one of those tags, and I put that saying, "All my love on your special day." And I added some of the paper to the back of this as well. And that gets tucked in here. And then you flip it. I have a dolly on the back of there. And then that paper there is making another pocket. And then you flip it over, and on the back, I made a belly band. I added one of those punched out butterflies. And this is part of an envelope that I made. I just stapled it together, added another definition here. It says beautiful. And then I just added some more of the paper here. Just stapled the corner of it. And then I added the paper collection on top. And that just slides underneath into the belly band. On this side, this is another part of that soap packaging. And then I just placed paper on top of that, and added a little butterfly, and added some of this trim. And this is another one of these heart-shaped dollies that I used as a tuck spot. Added some of the paper collection, and then added another one of these definitions. This one says friendship. And then this top sticker says friends are the sunshine of life. So I thought that was kind of cute. Well, not kinda. I thought it was cute. Then I add some of this trim. It has some gold throughout it with the pink. This is the other side of that heart dolly. And I made that tuck spot to hold this tag that I made a little belly band out of. Put some of that fibers on there. And then I just added this part of the cutout from the paper. And I added a little butterfly to that. This is coffee dyed paper. Add a little bit of this pink trim. Flip it out. You can journal on top of there. This is another one of those tags that I used. And I lined it with paper. Added some trim. Added a little, it's actually one of these. Added it in the middle there. Then I add some of this eyelash trim here. And dolly. Add some of these cutouts from the paper. And they're backed on some of this cardstock. And those tuck in there. I use this paper clip with a little bit of fibers on it just to make this tuck spot that's also a pocket. And I just use this paper clip to hold that shut. That was just more or less a little bit of added interest to the page. This is coffee dyed paper with a little bit of trim. This is another tag from another one of those soap container or soap packaging. Added a butterfly, and this one says cherish with the definition, and that gets stuck in this little pocket here that I made out of the paper. Then you flip it open, and this sticker, this part of this is at the bottom of the papers, and it says, because of your smile you make life beautiful. So I add that to the top there. You can journal over this. And then on this side I made two little pockets. This is a sticker from the sticker collection, and I just fussy cut around that and backed it on cardstock. Added some more of the definitions there. Added this little tag, and it says memory with the definition with a little butterfly on there. And then this little tag says smile, and that's part of the paper collection as well. Added a little butterfly here, and this is part of the paper collection, just a strip of the paper. You flip it over. I used one of those cutouts that I used when I punched out my butterflies, and I made it a little tuck spot here, and it's holding this tag that says laugh with the definition, with another butterfly cutout on that with some seam binding. Dolly. Added a part of the paper collection, it says just because. You flip it over here. I used another envelope, and I tucked this card inside here, and I just thought it matched the paper collection. And you can open it up, journal in there, and that gets tucked inside here. And I just added a tab to it, that way you could pull it in and out. It's not wanting to go in very well because I have the magnet that holds it down. I have that inside there. So this is part of the paper collection as well, one of the cutouts. It says friends are special treasures of the heart. Yes, they are. And then I added this little tuck spot. It says with love, another butterfly. And I put the smile sticker on that. And this is actually a recycled Nintendo's card. A little card that you get when you buy a game. Underneath the smile sticker says Nintendo, and these colors fit the paper collection, so I just left it. And this is smile definitions. I made that little tuck spot, belly band, and then this is another Kleenex pull off, and I just put some of the paper on that and left it blank where you can journal. And that's the envelope there, so I just left it to where you can make a tuck spot, or have a tuck spot. This is coffee dye paper. Just add a little butterfly and add some trim, another butterfly, add another one of those Kleenex tops, made a tag. You can journal over that. Add these two tags. One says vintage with the definition, and the other one has little butterfly cutouts on it. I just added this paper from the collection that says just because, made that a tuck spot, and added that paper clip as well, and that holds this shut, and you can open that up, add something inside the envelope. This is the other part of that heart dolly that I did upside down again and just added this little tuck spot underneath there. cutout for tuck spot, for the tuck spot. Added this little tag again with some fibers, add a little butterfly cutout, and then this one says friendship with definition. You turn it over, there's some more of this fluffy trim here, and it's coffee dyed paper, other part of the dually. I use this cutout here, it says thankful for friendship, or for your friendship, and it just made a pocket, and it holds this part of the paper collection, and it has all these butterflies on it, and it tells you what the butterflies are. So I just thought I would keep that. I thought that was interesting. And then this little tag, I made another little tuck spot right there with that leftover cutout from the butterfly. And that one says family with the definition. And this one says pass with the definition. It has a little butterfly on that too. That gets tucked in there. You flip it over, have more trim here. This cutout says just because. And then this is the second paper bag. I added some of these banners and tucked some of these. This tag, it says blessed on in the definition with fibers and a butterfly. These are more of the definitions from the paper. I added this little part from the paper, the sticker, little key, and this is just the paper. And then you flip it over, this is a cutout from the paper collection. Add these little sticker keys on there as well, and I added these from the paper. It's actually just a 6.5. They were 6.5, if I remember. The paper is not a 6 by 6 pad. I think it's 6.5. But I just tucked those in there, and I just fold the paper down and use that little cutout. It says with love, or yeah, I thought I read it wrong there for a minute. And then you flip it over, and I made this is actually a little belly band. So you can tuck something underneath there. I added this definition spot here, and I believe the top here is a little tag spot too, or tuck spot. And you flip it open, and I did another little tuck spot right here, and there's a tuck spot here. Add a little part of the paper in there, and then this is the other part of that soap. I just added some of the paper on there, and that pretty paper there. And flip it over. And then here is the coffee dyed paper. I have an explosion note right here. Held on one of these little funky paper clips. And that opens up. Lots of journaling space in here. Lots of tuck spots. This one is definitely a full journal. This little envelope says cherish, that's the sticker, and it says cherish. And I added a little butterfly, and this is empty. You can tuck something in there. Then I made another one of these flip ups that have the coffee dyed paper in there as well. I love this coffee dyed paper. It's not pretty. I like it. So then you flip this over, and this is the coffee dyed paper with a little bit of trim here. And then this is the other side of that envelope. I made a little tuck spot right there as well. and it says thank you for making my life beautiful. Added this sticker part here from the sticker collection of the butterflies. And then you flip it over. I added this sticker. It says fall in love with moments. And then I just added that cutout from the butterfly punch that I used. And then it says timeless with the definition. And it tucks in here where I fussy cut out this image from the paper. And then I used another one of those key stickers. This is the other side of that dolly. Or this is the start of the dolly. And then I added this part here from the paper. And I made a pocket. It says you make me smile. It has all these butterflies on there. And I added these tags. This one says love with the definition. And then this little bag that has this little tag with the butterflies on it. And tuck that in here as well. And this one says vintage with the definition. And add a little butterfly too. You flip it over, it has these fibers here. And has this strip from the paper collection. And this is a part of coffee dyed paper that I made a little tuck spot using a dolly, and I added this piece of the paper or wrapped it around it, used this piece of the paper as a little tuck spot as well on top, and I added the definitions and added a coin envelope that you could tuck something in there. And then on this side, I just used a little piece from the paper and I just tucked that up underneath. And this one says treasure with the definition. And then on this side, I made a pocket out of the coffee dyed paper, as well as another pocket here. And this flips up. This is a little mini one of those. Nope, this is just the paper. But that's held with a magnet. And I added this piece of the paper. It says be beautiful, be yourself. And this is a bookmark that I punched a butterfly out of. Added it underneath there. And you can journal here and tuck something underneath there. Then on the next page, added some more of these fibers here. Let me move some of this stuff. Might be getting a little busy. I added these fibers here, and then this is coffee dyed paper. This is stickers from the collection that says, the love in our family flows strong and deep, leaving us memories to treasure and keep. So since it's like the center page, I just ran that whole way across. And then up here, I made a little flip out, and it says, you're beautiful inside and out. It has the butterflies. And then you flip it open. I added this part from the paper and added this little tag inside of that. And then I added that sticker. It says, friends are the sunshine of life. And then it also says, you are the sunshine of life. So I thought that was cute. And then I made that a little tuck spot where I glued that flap on there. You flip it over, and this is a little tuck spot. Maybe not. Yeah. Couldn't tell if it was or not if my tags wouldn't go in it. But yeah, you can tuck something underneath there. And you can tuck something underneath here as well. Maybe I need to leave one of those over here. And then I made a belly band. That's the sticker from the sticker collection. And I just fussy cut around it and I backed it on cardstock before I did that. And then this is another one of those Kleenex tags, and I just added the paper on there. Flip it over, there's more of this trim here. This is another card and envelope, and the card I tucked in this way this time, and you can journal on top of that, or inside that, and that makes just a little flip if you want to as well. And then this one says, life is a story, make yours the bestseller. I thought that was so super cute. And then you flip it over, and this is just part of the paper, and it says, a moment to treasure, and then another butterfly here. And I think that's a tuck spot there. And I added these this coin envelope and this little tag with the butterflies on it. And you can journal on this. I made that a tuck spot as well. So then you flip it over, and this is coffee dyed paper. Oh, like that. And then add this eyelash trim here. And then this is the other part of that coffee dyed paper. And on the other side there's some trim, and this one says, friends are special, treasure of the heart. That's so cute. And then I had this belly band, use that sticker from the stickers, and this was a cutout from the collection, and on the back it says beautiful with the definition. It's just such pretty paper. That just gets tucked up underneath there, maybe. There we go. And I just used that part of the paper, backed it on cardstock. It says lots of love, and I used that as a belly band stopper. And on this side, I used some of this trim here, this little butterfly. This is another cutout of one of those Kleenex tags, and other part of the dolly. And then here I made a little belly band. I tucked this part of the paper in, and I added a definition that says today on it. And I folded over a dolly on the top. I put my most treasured moments, and then I added these little cutouts that have definitions on it that say laugh, cherish a moment. And I just had those tucked right there on that little tuck spot that I made with the paper with cardstock, and then I just added that little cardstock sticker, as well as right here, and then I added fibers underneath, and you can tuck something underneath there. This is part of the paper, as well as this up here, and that's a tuck spot as well. And on this side, I added another explosion note, and I added this little this little bag, and it has a index card and then a little piece of paper. I inked them up and just tucked them in here for added journaling space. That just gets tucked in there, and then another one of these butterfly cutouts, and I made another one of these little paper journaling spots there, and you flip it over, this is the other side of that coffee dye paper. Just love that. And then the fibers right there. And then this is the last of the paper bags. I made this little envelope pocket here, and, well, no, this is an envelope. Oh, no, this is a piece of the paper that I made a little flap with, it's magnetic, and I fussy cut that out of the paper, and then I layered the vintage definition on top of that with a little butterfly, and this flips open. I made a little pocket back here, and I'm not sure, I think that's a little pocket too as well behind that beautiful definition, and I back that on cardstock. And then this is a tuck spot here, and peeking out the front is the definition of live and or live and timeless. And then this says every day is a moment to treasure. I made another little tuck spot with a couple more definitions. Say home, past, and joy. Nose tuck in there. And I figure, you know, those are super cute because you could pull one of those out, and whatever you're journaling on or journaling about, you could add that to it, to your journal spot, and it could be, you know, a definition of what you're going through at that point. Then this is a little magnetic flap as well, and I added that so you could add whatever you wanted back there, and then that would hold it. And then this is a belly band, and I just added these little cutouts from the paper, and those just get tucked in behind that. And then this little part here is just holding those in there. You flip it over. I did another one of these envelopes here, added a card, and this card is holding, I just made a little tuck spot right there, and this one I made another little notepad flip here, and then made a belly band over here. It says life does not have to be perfect to be wonderful. And I added this to make the back of the belly band look pretty, but you can also pull it out and journal on it, or you can leave it in there, maybe. And it's supposed to look like the photo mat behind it. And then I added this little cutout with more journaling space to write, and it has the definition of story on that. And that gets tucked behind there. And then I have a couple more of these definition cutouts. And you could cut those apart as well and do what you would like with those. Or you can leave them as like those tags. And then this pulls out, and on the back it's just the paper and another tuck spot. And then on the front, I did the same thing as the front of the first one. I fussy cut around here. This one says every day is a moment to treasure, and I add another one of those tags. And this definition says joy, and I add a little butterfly. Then this one flips out. I made a little tuck spot. It says every family, every family has a story to tell. Add another definition tag, and then I fussy cut this image out of the paper as well. This one says days like today make me happy, and then I added another one of those definition tags. I just have it turned around, and this is the part of the paper collection. I just love that paper right there. And I added another one of those little tiny notebook things where you can journal in there. Held it together with one of these paper clips. That gets tucked in there. And then on the back page, I made this thing right here where you can You can tuck something underneath here if you wanted to. I added the paper on the back of these, as well as the paper on the front of these envelopes. And all these envelopes are holding a card. Just gonna take one out, and you can journal inside each one of these cards. I didn't make them little mini journals. I just figured you could add things to them as you go, and yeah. So I thought that was super cute. So each one of those pulls out, and you can tuck something underneath here if you wanted to too. And you can tuck something underneath as well if you want. And then I just added some of the lace back here just to tie it off just like the rest. And yeah, so there's this journal. Let me know what you think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And I see you when I see ya. Later.